artificial intelligence. So these are the technologies that are made a huge revolution. This will continue to go more higher and higher. People have completely changed their physical marketing completely into digital marketing. So that's MadTech. Femtech is very, very interesting. So it's called female technology. I'm not very happy with the term female technology because I believe everyone are same and equal. So there is nothing to have a specific called female technology. But sadly, people started projecting it as a female technology. But it's good because we need to empower a lot of women in the rural side where they need to really bring out um, all their knowledge and skill set. So it's fine to have this kind of a particular technology where women are motivated to build products that are going to support women itself. So it can be coming up with low cost sanitary pads using some very simple technology which will give them complete hygiene information through the mobile app or something. It can also be various other technologies that can help in women's health. So these are called female technology, where women are empowered, enabled, and motivated to come up with a lot of interesting products. And just it's almost like a closing session for my talk. If you're interested to work in our company, you're most welcome. You're always, we welcome a lot of candidates, professors to collaborate with our company. We have a lot of fundings as well. You are always welcome to join us. Currently, we have a lot of internship and full-time opportunities. If you have any students who are really interested, please do pass it on to them, this information. We have opportunities in digital transformation, robotics, Flutter technology, social media support, HR internships. We'll be very, very happy to support and encourage more and more youngsters to come forward. Currently, we placed students from SRM University in Chennai. 2 people got a summer internship in the UK. And for any other information, you can always reach out to us anytime. And thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. I'll be very, very happy to collaborate at any point. We'll be very happy to support everyone. Thank you so much for this great opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Yes, it's true, and even I do agree with this. Good information about innovation technologies. It was very deeply explained with clear visualization. Thanks for making us more informative. Thank you, Dr. Nikhilesh Satyanarayanan, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Next, I call upon Ms. Karthika from our department to give the introduction about Professor Dr. Rais Unisa Syed Abdul Razak.
Hi, it's my pleasure to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Rais Unisa Syed Abdul Razak from Saudi Arabia. She did her master's in English literature and doctorate in English literature, Barkat University. She did CELTA in Stanford House, London. She got certified by Cambridge in ESOL and FORMAT Natural Cycle of Learning Training for university instructors. She worked as a program coordinator and faculty at Universal Society for Education and as an assistant professor in BSSS Bhopal. She is also a member of Board of Studies, BSSS. Now, ma'am is working as an assistant professor in Al-Qasim University. She authored a number of research papers published both in national and international journals. Dr. Rais Unisa Syed Abdul Razak was invited as a resource person for several teacher development courses. She sat a session at the International Journal of Arts and Science International Conference for Education held at UNL Student Union at Las Vegas. She presented papers in international conferences at the Hadron, USA, Bhopal, Singapore, and New Delhi. She is a professional trainer in Blackboard Learning Management System and e-teaching courses. Now, I request Dr. Rais Unisa Syed Abdul Razak to take over the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon from all the way from Saudi to my friends from all over the world. I hope that I am audible to all.
Yes, madam. You can proceed. You're audible.
Yeah. I need my PowerPoint. Are you going to put it, or should I share my screen?
If possible, you can share your screen, ma'am. Or if you want, it'll just take a minute for us.
Fine. I'm going to try sharing my screen. I think it's there. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Being a person from the field of education and academics, the area that I'm going to talk today is about e-education. I'm going to give you, like, kind of discuss a little brief background about what e-education was before pandemic, during pandemic, and what do we have in this sphere in the future. See, the thing is that, like, when we start like talking about, because this conference basically talk about the pandemic era and what is going to happen to all the e-education, e-commerce, e-management in the future. I'm just going to little talk about our own sustenance abilities. Like, we as human are really kind of ready enough to face any type of challenge, any point of time, come together, collaborate, and move ahead. And that is what is seen during this time, even when we are all together in a virtual conference. I remember just now, as my dear friend introduced me, there was a time when I had to go to all these places, be it Singapore or US or UK, to make a presentation, to attend a conference, or to give a talk. But today you can see that we are virtually together, right? Tamil Nadu being one of my dream places to visit, although I couldn't make it physically, but virtually I am at MGR, and I'm so happy about that. So that is what human beings are. Like, any complex challenges, any time of the time, we know how to rethink, rebuild, reinstate ourselves, and move ahead. And this has been made possible with one key, the key of technology. The two major presentations of today, the two major talks of today, talks about how technology has advanced in the field of finance, in the field of technology, and all these three steps that we have taken. Without the step of e-education, I don't think that it will spread so wide and far, right? We all will agree to this, that we need a very solid base of education to carry the steps ahead in the future. So, for that reason, we are here to collaborate, be creative, use all the opportunities that are available to us, and create the best of the options available. And during the pandemic, we have come across this fact that uh, where a full stop would have been placed, be it to education, be it to medical sciences, be it to technology, we did not put the full stop. We just stretch the line so much so that now we can talk that after post pandemic, where we are going to take this e-education or e-learning. I just happened for our interest, because I know my young students are very much into technology. They are the young participants are into this digital world. I've just taken a few pictures from online of a toy. This toy, I hope that like many of you are aware of this toy, which is becoming very, very popular. Already there have been a lot of toys, educational toys, technical toys, digital toys for young children, as well as the adult learners, in the form of apps and kind of platforms. This one is a toy called a Photon, which is like one of the most preferred toy which parents would like to give to their children. What does this toy do? It's a robotic toy which helps, becomes a companion of your child and be with your child throughout the time. It helps the child getting educated, like whatever topic of interest is there, he just needs to feed it. So a lot of efforts have been made in developing the toy itself, and there are like many examples, a number of examples of such toys. Now, what is the idea behind it? What is the idea behind developing the digital toys with developing coding? In today's time, you see that throughout the time, I have my friends enrolling their children into learning coding for young generation, coding for the adults, coding for anybody who's interested, or who is not even interested but wants to move ahead. Is available anywhere and everywhere, online, offline, and it's just the time that you go and enroll yourself and learn it. What's the need for it? The reason is that young generation is really kind of a very much advanced generation, and they want a new challenge, new change in their lives. So we are providing it, right? There is a mind behind providing all these things, and that is the mind of education. right? And then moving ahead, what we have is that the time, if we remember the crucial dates of the start of pandemic, and we felt that, oh, now it's time to close down, and like the orders have been around, and we felt that the WHO said that now it's the world pandemic and we have to close down every instance of gathering, and schools, educational institutions were also included in that. At that point of time, the basic questions that triggered us were, is it possible? Is it possible to educate our generations without meeting them? Or is it possible? How are the students going to learn without a physical teacher? Is it possible to carry on with every aspect of education? Or because you see, before pandemic, we do had online education, we had distance education from ages. Like I remember when young kids, we used to listen to these radio programs. We used to watch UGC program on TV, television. If my like counterparts remember in the younger days, we do had educational videos being run on television in India and from outside around the world. We were exposed somewhere to these e-learning kind of a pattern, but not completely. Not in a way that we are going to close down the physical schools. We are going to close down all physical interactions and come up with something called technical learning or the digital learning, e-learning. It was something very, very challenging, and we had a lot of questions to that, right? So we were just looking at these points. We were looking at how the areas, how we are going to touch the areas where internet is not accessible, where people are not having any devices, any support, technical support. How are we going to reach? But at this point, when we are about to say that, okay, we are going to enter the post-pandemic, or we are expecting to enter the post-pandemic era, we see that we did it to a very great extent. According to the fresh reports, we have these statistics that yes, almost like 44-55% of student population gained from e-education, right? And then as we move ahead, we see that very quickly, the value of e-education has been understood around the world. And these 2 years have taught us a lot. Before itself, like kind of, we know that, okay, schools and colleges were promoting blended learning, but now with full graded online learning, we see that countries are transforming the education systems, and they are training, not only training, the students are getting themselves ready. I remember 2 years back when my very close friend put her daughter into school, thinking that, okay, she's going to start schooling from April. She got her admission done in Jan, and to her surprise, the daughter became her early stages of education. She never ever saw physical school till date. Now it's 2 years. This is her third year in school. She's getting promoted now. She's in class KG2, and she is a part of e-education. The young generation don't even know that there is something or a school building or a school classroom where you go and you visit meet your teacher. She's meeting a teacher online. She understands the teacher there, so she's not exposed to it, exposed to that type of schooling. So what does it say? That the next generation is completely ready for it. We have already sown the seeds of it. We just need to nurture the plant and see how it grows. We had I'm not going to talk about many things because I know that I have time restraint also, which I need to take care. We have the massive open online courses, and before pandemic, around 20% of the world student population were a part of it. Some were a part of MOOC, the distance or the online education system. And because of that, maybe because we were we had a hand, or we somewhere, as teachers, we know, as a teachers community, we had a hand over it. We were in touch with it. It just need a little bit of brushing, and then that's the reason where we very successfully carried on education during these 2 years. And not only that, not only teaching, there were challenges. Yeah, I agree to it, because I myself, being a full-time teacher, I know that we had faced challenges. We are facing challenges, but somehow we managed to give our generation what they needed. Today also, when we are learning from each another, advancement in different fields, this is what we are doing. We are like kind of giving them knowledge of what they can and what they are expected to. So being like from the teaching field, I can assure you that we like kind of 100% has been put in for the students, and yes, they are here and we are here to see how we move ahead. This is a structure of the framework of the 21st century learning as we are moving ahead into the 21st century. What are the students' expectations? What are the learners' expectations from the teachers community, and how we are going to provide it? Nowhere the children want the same physical kind of education system. They are no, like before itself, we know that this generation is a very hyper generation. This generation is a real innovative generation. So this generation is not looking forward for the bulk of books, the weight of the bags, the taking notes, nothing. They don't want anything. They just want it to be transformed. They want this education system to be transformed into a way where the learning environment suits their liking. They are more interested in being very, very flexible, very, very open with their learning system. They want a kind of, the audiovisual experience of learning. No longer there is an interest in sitting down and teaching them face to face, word to word. This generation is made up like this, like kind of. It's again, we say that okay, what is this generation kind of? But we have to accept it. Accept the fact that no, the present generation is not a generation which can be just made to stand in a row, walk in a way, made to sit in a style. No, this generation is not meant for that. So looking at that, we have this framework which has been put up. Mostly the students want professional development. They want life skills and career skills. They are very much career oriented. In a very early time, they decide what they want in life. And many parents, because we all will accept it that we are also the millennials, we are also the generation who has been like kind of digital natives. So we are ready to give it, and they are demanding more from us, right? So they want learning with innovation skills, and learning with new technology, new styles, information which is already available to them. We are mostly teachers are mentors in today's time, because the information is already available from four corners, right? So I have just put in here the 21st century skills that are demanded or that are needed for us to sustain our societies and to move ahead, and what workforce is expected by agencies and organizations around the world. There is something called the 4 C's. Before it was formal degrees that were looked upon, but in today's time, a student, a candidate to be eligible to join the workforce, to move ahead, needs the 4 C's: creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication. And believe me, the young generations, as we experience on a day-to-day basis, we come to know that yes, the students are more creative than the teachers. The learners have more information than the teachers themselves. It's only, as I have mentioned before also, that we need to guide the energies to the right path. And for that, we had, like as teachers have the challenge, like more than educating the young generation, it's the challenge in the teachers' hands, how they are going to channel this real creative, collaborative, and communicative powers of the students into the right way. Where are we going to lead them? Then apart from that, the kind of literacy skills, before we used to talk about making people literate or the society literate. There is a wide change. If you look at this present time of e-education, and also when we are talking about the post-learning era, we have to look at this point that young generation is very techno-savvy, and they are like kind of, they are young researchers. You give them a topic, and tomorrow you have 10 references to the topic with detailed information of what is what and how is how. Now, here one point is that you can say that again, it's attitude. It's attitude of learning, but I'm not going to get into that because we are more focused on what e-learning or e-education has to offer. In today's time, what the literacy that we are looking forward is information literacy, collecting as much as information possible from the authentic sites that are available, or you can say that the medium from where they are being taken, then the media literacy, the technological literacy, and this literacy is very much essential for the learners to focus, to work on their abilities and process the new information, because each and every time now this conference is also going to go digital. It's going to be available on YouTube. That means students or learners around the world is having a kind of great pieces of information. So for that, channeling this information that they get with the guidance of the teacher is becoming the talk of tomorrow. Now, the last thing that we have is that the ability to the life skills that are expected, the adaptability, leadership, initiative, and social skills. And it has been seen that the younger generations are more open to collaborate. They are more open and more sensitive towards understanding their other counterparts. They are ready, they want to be global. In today's time, the learners want to be global learners. They want to collaborate at the global level. And that is how e-learning or e-education is becoming so popular. Somewhere around, they are even when they are enrolled into college for the sake of degrees, they are having certificate and diploma programs from around the world and getting connected with international students. And that is the reason why we say that education needs to turn into tech-based education or e-education to keep up with the global trends, to put our learners into the global market, and to gain the best from the best minds around. With this, I will end up my talk. It says that in today's time, because the general population, like more than us, the general population, each one has a smartphone in their hands. As we were talking about like mobile banking, I just have happened to very recent experience that happened. I knew about a man who was he never went to school or college, and I was just talking, and I said that I wanted to buy something, and immediately he said, "No, I will send you my phone number, and you can send me a payment." I said, "What?" He said, "Yes, you can pay me by my phone number." And I was just trying to understand it, because I'm not into finances. I'm not into I know I'm shopping online, but I'm not really into it. But you can see how much information people have and how much technology they are using. Like anybody, it is accessible to anybody. That is why in today's time, this innovation, this spread of information has really changed how we look at the literacy rate. It's like just that everybody is aware of it. We as the ones who are in a position to understand that, okay, we have to guide, we just need to guide. We need to just understand where the mind of the student or the learners is going and guide them with knowledge and innovation. It's the presentations, that in today's time, how technology needs to be incorporated. So after the post-pandemic, the future of education is very, very clear. It's definitely going to be a blended with lots of virtual interaction between the learners and the teachers, a lot use of ICT development. It's going to definitely give an opportunity to companies related to ICT, to coding, to development of new apps, gamification. Gamification is coming a big way. We all know about it. Today, something happening on Zoom, tomorrow the Microsoft, Google Slides, anything and everything. We have a lot of apps ready for us to take on and sustain with dedication. Thank you so much. This is all I have got for you. And any questions or queries, please, you can go ahead.
Of course. It was really a terrific session, presented very well with an ease manner about e-education. I also mean to note that it was very interesting with reference of specific knowledge of e-learning. It's truly a timely information. Thank you very much, madam. Students and participations can drop your questions in the chat box, which will be answered at the end. Now I call upon Ms. Vidya from our department to introduce Professor Dr. Ankit Kachuria.
Hello everyone. I take this opportunity to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Ankit Kachuria. Dr. Ankit Kachuria did his master's degree in marketing management at Saurashtra University, India. He has done his doctorate in Singhania University. He worked as an assistant professor in the Department of Management, Saurashtra University, India. Dr. Ankit Kachuria was a senior lecturer in Management College of South Africa. He is also a freelance lecturer in leadership and business coach. Now, he is working as a lecturer in Northwest University in Department of Economic and Management Sciences, South Africa. His publication and research are like job stress and insecurity among the employees, consumer buying behavior, motivation, government support, and satisfaction in running new businesses, etc. Dr. Ankit Kachuria had attended various international conferences and presented a paper like Communicating Spiritually at Workplace Indian Way, Teaching Ethics and Management, a study of profitability of selected private banks in India. And he also conducted many virtual webinars. I take immense pleasure to call upon our chief guest, Dr. Ankit Kachuria. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, one and all. Thank you for providing me this opportunity to speak on this international conference. Currently, I am working as a senior lecturer with Northwest University, Faculty of Economics and Management Science, South Africa. Today, on this inaugural address for this international conference, I am going to talk about resurgence of business growth post-COVID-19. As we all are aware about that, the pandemic has started from early 2020 and still we are on the era of COVID-19. But business should continue in order to achieve a profit maximization as well as the wealth maximization. So, based on some of my research, I came across the various strategies for the business growth post-COVID-19. The first most important is that a company should embark the culture and behavior shift that COVID-19 introduced. In order to achieve a strategy for COVID-19, a company should know what about the culture and behavior shift because of this COVID-19. The next important is STP. This is one of the core concepts in the marketing management. A company should revise a segmentation, targeting, and positioning of the product or services. Also, change in the structure, behavior, and technology. As we are now into the digitalization and look at the today's scenario, we all are from different part of the world, but today we are connected in an e-commerce, e-digital platform. So one thing this pandemic taught us that there is a no physical presence required. You can share the knowledge, you can share your skill and talent in any part of the world wherever you are. So we are now using Zoom and Google Team and Skype and so and so. Now smart company will adopt a proactive approach to understand what change will occur and be ready to adjust their product and services. So now coming to the next aspect, how we can change the businesses into the COVID-19. The first is the going digital. As there are the various e-commerce model, B2B, B2C, and so. So each company should adopt a various digital approach in order to capture a potential market. Increase the demand for e-commerce. Nowadays, you need to hire an employee who does know about how to use a technology. Because nowadays, everything is on your mobile, everything goes on your tablet, everything goes on your laptop. So nowadays, no more pen or paper you have to write and report to your manager. Everything has gone digitally. So your employees should know about how to use the latest technology. New ways of working. As we are now, this is the best example of new ways of working. So each organization should find out a best new ways of working according to the budget and policy of the organization. Focus on sustainable growth and corporate social responsibility. So this five for me is the ways that COVID-19 is changing the business. So now the question arises in our mind is that future of the business after COVID-19, how the world will look like. they will be expected to a ready for a new norm. Business cannot be expected to return to normal post COVID-19. As we can see that social distancing and sanitizer hands and wearing a mask in a public places, and this can be considered as a new norm. So business, it will take a time to come back to the normal situation. A business organization will call upon a reinvention with the new objectives, a new marketing strategy, and human resource management practices. A financial injection and upgrading of a technology among the others. New trend and new boundaries are likely to emerge, and new idea will be generated. So, ladies and gentlemen, the second paragraph will focus on about how we can modify our business objectives, our marketing strategies, our financial objectives that we need to modify according to the current market condition. Survival is depend on both reaction and response. A business needs to be wary of reaction, as this may offer a swifter perceived solution, but to be determined in a long run. Responding may be more advantageous and tactic, as it involves a greater insight and thinking thus the process. Now, as we know that innovation and research and development is a continuous process for any organization. So nowadays, innovation play a very vital role for any organization. How your product and services is different than your competitors. And if let me recall to the module strategic management, Potter 5 was model can give the answer about how to make a unique, and also you need to understand the competitive advantage within your organization and within your product or services. And the recovery will take a time, and situation analysis need to be conducted, and challenges need to be identified and addressed using a tactic and strategic approaches. So this is some sort of conclusion from my previous 3 to 4 slides, that priority now and priority then. Previously the priority was the profit, and now the sustainability is the most important priority. Previously management has a decision making power, and now each and every company need to be an ethical leadership. Previously there was a self-interest, and now creating a value for the customer. There was a limited communication, and now a multiple way of communication, as well as the predefined work with the customized work, face-to-face interaction, and combination of face-to-face and virtual. Previously focused on qualification, and now focus on competency. So this is the exactly the same from my previous slide, but the arrangement is different. Like previously office hours was 9 to 5. Now you have to work any time of the day. Today's best example is almost 3:45, and still conference is going on. So now you working from home, so time doesn't make any difference. You need to be available online to address your work, to do to allocate your resources. Previously corporate offices was very important. Now work from anywhere, and so as you can see from my screen. Now, as Philip Kotler truly said that customer is the king of the market, and nowadays the majority of the business is not achieving a desired profit, and so that this model will provide you that business will have to pay a greater attention to their customer, and how one can pay a greater attention, that can be empathy towards your customer, personalization, time and effort, expectation, the requirements of your customer, resolution, and integrity. So this 6 dimension that you need to understand when you are dealing with your customer or consumer. Now, the big question is arise in our mind is that how we adjust to the future. What should be the 2022 looks like, because we are on the last quarter of 2021, and then we coming to the 2022. So the answer is that COVID-19 is pushing a business rapidly operating in a new way, and it been tested business never ever before. So businesses need to rapidly adjust to the changing need of the people, their customer, their supplier, and while navigating the financial and operational challenges. So in a short, a business should re-establish the process of supply chain, as well as the process of inventory management, as well as the redesign of the pricing strategy. In a marketing, we all know the various pricing strategy for the product or services. So business will have to continuously demonstrate they have a health, and the interests of the client and customer are the foremost. And anyone who felt that an organization environment poses a health risk will avoid that organization. So as now we give a priority to our health compared to any other things. So each and every organization need to understand the health issue related to your supplier, related to your customer, and so and so. And business will have to lay a foundation for the future. So how do we adjust the future? So these are the three ways: adopt new ways of working, then improve the contact center management, and adjust and automate the services. So these three will give you the answer to redesign your marketing as well as the business strategy. So in summary, I would like to highlight is that this COVID-19 completely changed the way of business, and we gone digitally in each and every way. But organization need to relook and reshape the modes of operational, and together with other organization. And one should never rule out the possibility that because people will prefer to stay away from overcrowded malls, and smaller business may have more effect from this pandemic. So once again, I thank you for inviting me and giving me opportunity to share my views. And I welcome to take any question if that is. Thank you.
Yes, sir. The information is transparent and tangible. It was well motivated and knowledge gaining to all. Good clarification and proofreading about e-business. Wonderfully narrated about the secrets of e-business. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now I call upon Ms. Vidya Saroj to introduce Professor Dr. Ali Khatibi.
Hello everyone, I'm glad to introduce our chief guest, Professor Dr. Ali Khatibi. Professor Ali graduated with a PhD in marketing, an MBA in marketing with TQM, and an MBA in production with TQM. In his career spanning of 39 years in academic and industry, Professor Ali has held many senior academic and administrative positions at the Management and Science University, and has been instrumental in providing a high level of leadership in research, teaching, and administration. He is the Senior Vice President, Dean of Postgraduate Center, and moreover, a professor of marketing at the MSU, and has served in various senior positions. He is being honored as a Senior Research Fellow and serves as an adjunct professor in China, Singapore, Australia, and Germany at this time. Dr. Ali Khatibi developed and promoted the new disciplines of marketing, DNA marketing, and web marketing. He has established undergraduate and postgraduate coursework programs and lectured in those programs, establishing professional links with universities and industries in Malaysia as well as overseas. Dr. Ali Katibi has won the gold and silver medal for Invention and Innovation Research Malaysia and currently working with ABEST Japan to develop Asia Management Games. Indeed, he has over 400 publications, which include 350 refereed journal and conference papers and 53 other journal publications. He has been appointed as editor-in-chief in the UK, guest editor special issues of journals. Now I request Dr. Ali Katibi to take over the session. Please, sir.
Thank you to the MC and very good afternoon to all the academic colleagues and participants. It's great to be with you here. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to show you the PowerPoint because that is my habit. I never use PowerPoint in my teaching and talk, but I'm going to take you the overview. And I believe that all the speakers they have from industries, academics, they have given the lot of informations on e-education, e-management, and so on. But I'm going to take you from the different angles of looking to the past, present, and the future. All right. And if you look at between 2010 to 2015, all right, many universities around the world, they were talking about the e-education or online educations. And it was expected by 2025 and 2030, about 60% of universities to become online. No more having the physical buildings or the classroom. That was a plan. In my universities, in 2015, we start to slowly to shift to the blended learning because we know what is going to happen. But as we move from 2015 to 2018, right, slowly the platform of the e-learning came to the pictures. Right? But definitely many universities around the world, many government bodies, they were a little bit against online education because they have a very different views about it. In 2019, when slowly to the end of 2019, we faced this COVID-19 and 20 and 21, we saw the tremendous changes happen in everybody's life. But other we want to say, personally, I will see that it was a positive opportunities. Less, yes, we saw so many, we lost many citizens, many people around the world. But another side, if we look at it, we opened the opportunities earlier than expected by 2025. Right? And many people, they are talking about it. COVID is going to be ended or endemic, or we talking about normal life, new life. But to me, COVID is going to be with us. If any of you go back to look to the Economic Forum report, January 2021, very interesting, and I encourage everybody to read that report, all right? And interesting, at that report, the United Nations are saying that every 5 to 10 years, we are going to expect new pandemic. What does it mean? We cannot stop our life here. We cannot say that, all right, let's go back to the new normal. No. We need to think about it, how we want to challenge the future. That is going to be a bigger challenges for an institution, academic institution, industry, how they are going to respond to the changes which we are going to face pandemic every 5 to 10 years. We are going to live with this COVID, like any of the diseases we are living with, that from dengue to malaria, you name it. And this will be another additional of the virus surrounding is going to be with us. We need to live with that. And the world leader and the world accepted, all right, forget about reaching to the zero. We may lose some of our citizens, but we need to live and industry need to move about it. But what happened to it? This lockdown or curfew, you name it, happened, it changed tremendous behavior of the people because it was too long. If it was few months, we don't see the changes. But because it's become nearly 2 years, it changed the total behavior of people around the world. If you look to the latest report, all right, 45% of the Americans, they don't want to go back to the office anymore. All right, they don't want to go to the office anymore. And why? Because they see the different lifestyle. And interesting on that report, they are saying that is they are willing to change the job or they do something different, but they don't want to go back to the office. The other hand is a very interesting report. Nearly 50% of the students at Singapore National Universities, they want to go back to the universities. They don't prefer that. Now, we have two components, Asian culture, Europe culture. Personally, I believe that online education is going to be with us, but it's not going to be permanent. We need to move to the blended education system. And why? Because we are going to see a challenges of the self-discipline and attitude. Many Asians, they cannot adapt to the new culture, be disciplined, all right, when they are online, how to manage themselves. They are online, they listen to the lecturers, at the same time, they are playing the game or watching the movies. That is the challenges. But what we are going to see, most of the European university or in US, they are going to move more to the online rather than the physical classroom. But in Asia, what I have come out in my new marketing book, which is going to be in market by the end of this year, I'm sorry, all right? We need to move to the blended. Yes, there are many theories that are coming to say that is, for people that are used to the online shopping and they will continue. And when I do the study, answer is going to be 50-50. Yes, we do online shopping, we go less to the shopping mall, but the later, when the things is open, we are going to enjoy the life because that is our lifestyle. Moving to the shopping mall, doing shopping, that is going to be challenges. But in other hand, all right, you are going to see another challenges. The gap between the middle-aged people, people about 35, and younger generation. All right. And this younger generation, which are going to be a future leader, they are going to come back with a different platform, within a different mindset. And why? When we were young, all right, we just surrounded by the family member. Today, we are surrounded by the international community. We share the idea. Today, if you take the kids from Malaysia, India, Europe, US, all right, all of them more or less, they talk about the same language, same behavior. And always people that ask me why, I say because they use the same platform. That is going to open the bigger challenge. And that challenges, I call it as the e-culture. All right. Platform is going to be there. We have accepted the e-culture, having the party together, having the event together, all right? And it's going to change the entire of the life. And what is the challenges for an institution? An institution, they need to have a two platform. For the people, they want to move with the e-education, and people, they want to be traditional education. They want to come to the physical classroom. What industry they need to do? They need to have a two platform. They need to have a platform for the online shopping and offline shopping. What is the companies they need to do? They need to have a two kind of the job. For the people, they love to come to the office, and people, they don't want to come to office. If we look to the very interesting companies in the Tokyo, Disco not in the music, Disco on the chip industry. They have a two kind of the salary. People, they want to work at home, and people, they want to come to the office. Different package, different salary. And Disco approaches is going to be a future for everyone. We can't force everyone to come to office, all right? And we cannot force everybody to go online shopping. And that is going to open the different platform, which is going to become more and more challenging, all right? So what industries need to look to it is, all right, look to the COVID for the next century, we are going to have it in the different form, all right? Now we face COVID-19, maybe after 5 years or 10 years, hopefully not, but it's going to happen. Maybe different virus, different lifestyle. So how we need to prepare ourselves. And my advice to everyone is, let's we go back and open our eyes and respond to the challenges. We don't sit down and relaxing, say that, oh, COVID is over. Now we are going to have, no, we need to prepare ourselves for the next 5 years, 10 years, and continue what we are thinking to do and keep developing that. So on this, I would like to end my discussion to everyone. And if you like to send anything, my contact is available with the organizer. And you're most welcome if you like to share idea or something to do together, please do contact me through the email, or to know any mode of the online communication of WhatsApp, Viber, you name it, WeChat. I'm happy to respond to everyone. Thank you. Back to the organizer.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your valuable inputs. And really, we are excited and delighted with all your experience you have shared. I just have one small doubt, sir. Question, sir?
Damnly explained well about e-education. You really shared a great information, and we are delighted to have an eminent speaker like you. For your information, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Students and participants can drop your questions in the chat box if you want to. All the participants are requested to fill the attendance and feedback form, which is posted in the chat box. Only then you can get your certificate. It's a pleasure to have you all here. Thanks for giving fresh thoughts and to all enlightened us with various topics. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. Now I call upon a department deputy head, Professor Dr. S. Ashrafi madam, to give the vote.
Good afternoon, one and all. Attended this wonderful international virtual conference. Once a great man whispered, feeling thankful and not expressing. It's like wrapping a present and not giving it. I deem it's a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this wonderful occasion. It is a remarkable day in the history of Faculty of Management Studies, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute. Today we have hosted one of the biggest virtual conference in international level. Yes, we have reached another milestone. The wheels started rolling 3 months ago, and we have all realized the effort taken by us have given a huge accomplishment. On behalf of Faculty of Management Studies, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, I first thank our respected Founder Chancellor, Dr. A.C. Shanmugam sir. I extend my thanks to our Honorable President, Engineer A.C. Arun Kumar Sir, respected Vice Chancellor Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi Madam, and our beloved Registrar Dr. C.B. Alanivelu Sir. Our additional Registrar E&F Campus Dr. D.B. Jabra Sir, and our much loved Head of the Department Dr. G. Ganga Madam for joining with us, who have graced this occasion on making it grand success. I express my deep sense of gratitude to all our distinguished speakers, Dr. Ankit Phatrodia from South Africa, Mr. Arago Dempsey from Ethiopia, Dr. A. Mithile Satyanarayanan from UK, and Professor Ali Khatibi from Malaysia, Dr. Raisa Nisa Syed Ali Razak from South Africa, Saudi Arabia, for having accepted our invitation and spread our valuable time to join with us across the globe to share their thoughts. Thank you all for making this conference a memorable and interesting one. Next, I would like to express my hearty thanks to our conference sponsor, N. Subbareddy Trust, for their support rendered for the grand success of this conference. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation to the authors for their valuable contribution, and the response was really amazing. Thank you, authors. Next, I would like to express my pleasure to all the faculty members, research scholars, students of various colleges who have joined here for this wonderful conference all over the world. Last but not the least, I would like to express my hearty thanks to the most valuable faculty members, research scholars of our MBA department. Yes, especially all your teamwork and extraordinary coordination towards this conference made this grand success. Once again, I thank every one of you for joining this international virtual conference. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Madam. I remind once again, all the participants are requested to fill the attendance and feedback form, which is posted in the chat box. Only then you can get your certificate. Now, all the events have come to an end. Saluting our nation with national anthem.
गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Yes, this is Priya, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Management, signing out. Thank you all.
Sure.